Alright guys, let's break this down because not everyone has the patience to sit through a 26-minute video. So, straight to the gist. Reno Omokri had invited Mike Arnold and an American filmmaker, Jeff Gibbs, through the office of National Security Advisor Newu Rabadu to Abuja for what he described as fact-finding mission, a trip aimed at addressing international claims that Christians are being systematically wiped out in Nigeria. So what started as a fact-finding mission quickly escalated into a clash of narratives, with Mike Arnold accusing Reno Omokri of twisting details, overstating facts, and manipulating the story. So, according to Reno Omokri, he brought these men to Nigeria to help correct what he called false and exaggerated claims of Christian genocide. He said Nigeria is a multi-faith nation where both Christians and Muslims are victims of terrorism, and that labeling it as genocide is misleading and dangerous. The plan was for the team to meet with religious leaders, visit IDP camps, and gather facts that could shape US policy, especially the calls to designate Nigeria as a country of particular concern. But when Mike Arnold took the stage in Abuja, he delivered a fiery speech that flipped the entire narrative. Arnold began by clarifying that he is not the current mayor of Texas, but a former mayor of Blanco, Texas, now working as an independent researcher and humanitarian, that his plane ticket was paid for, not by the US government. He said he is not compensated by anyone. He made it clear, I am an independent voice, as against Reno's misrepresentation as a US policymaker. Arnold said US officials, including Senator Ted Cruz and Representative Chip Roy, were aware of his visit, and that he came to Nigeria purely as a truth seeker, not a government envoy. He said, when I was invited, I asked what was expected of me, and I was told, come and speak the truth. So I am here to speak the truth. Then he looked straight into the audience and said, I might lose some friends today. At that point, Reno Omokri knew it was about to go down. Arnold went on to define truth in his own words. He said, truth should cause discomfort. Truth is not designed to make us comfortable. I have been researching. I have spoken to journalists, human rights activists, and experts, and the truth is often ugly. He warned the crowd, never take anybody's news for anything, especially if it's from the Nigerian media. Just imagine that. An X-ray of the Nigerian media. After that, Arnold turned his focus on Reno Omokri. He said Reno had painted him as a Republican mayor and a personal friend of Senator Ted Cruz. But Arnold corrected that publicly. I am not a personal friend of Ted Cruz. I met him once, shook his hand in a receiving line 10 years ago. That's it. He also accused Reno of twisting details from how the trip was organized to who funded it in order to give himself political clout. Arnold said Reno wanted to appear connected to powerful figures in the US, but in truth, the trip was privately funded and independent of Washington. And in a separate post, Arnold called Reno a pathological, habitual liar who tells calm, cool, constant lies, not wild ones, but small manipulations that change perception. But the heart of Arnold's accusation wasn't just about names or flights. It was about truth suppression. He claimed Reno was trying to water down evidence of targeted violence against Christians in Nigeria, presenting it as random attacks rather than a pattern of persecution. Arnold said his own fact-finding research carried weight of evidence gathered from 5 years of interviews, visits to affected areas, and reports from human rights experts. He declared, my people are waiting for this report, and it will be distributed to everyone. In other words, Arnold promised to take his findings back to the US to show that something serious, possibly genocide, is indeed happening. In all this, Reno called for the truth, paid for the ticket, and ended up sponsoring his own exposure. It's the truth at the time. Take care and have a nice day.